Pessoal, bora começar mais um episódio de Vampyr. No último episódio nós paramos na metade da missão secundária da mulherzinha que acho que é uma vampira. E nós resgatamos outra NPC naquela casa que está ali atrás. Então, nesse episódio vamos continuar o progresso. Tentar finalizar essa missão secundária e já partir direto para a missão principal que está no mesmo sentido. Então bora lá. Pegando esse tesouro que tem por aqui. Acho que não tem mais nada. Carinha forte.
Best turn around.
Ou não. Acho que ele só tem nível. Outro colecionável. E mais uma estaca, mais uma arma, e também entra como colecionável. Mais um colecionável, a grande caçada. E completamos então a missão secundária. Agora só precisávamos voltar lá para acalmar a nossa vampira fajuta. Mas está mais perto a gente seguir aqui para a missão principal, então vamos vir pra cá. Ai. Um ratinho para retirar o sangue. Pessoal para matar. Novo esconderijo desbloqueado. Eu não preciso dormir, tenho bem pouco. Bem pouca experiência. Acho que esse esconderijo é isso. essa arma acaba sendo muito boa para o que eu já upei. Vamos ver se tem algum tesouro, algum colecionável por aqui rapidinho. Essa casa aqui. Parece que não tem nada. Preciso de alguma missão depois. Oi. Guarda ali embaixo.
It's closed.
Não sei se eu quero ir ali embaixo agora. Eu acho que não.
It's not right. I'd step back, sir. Last warning, he's mine!
A parte tá fechada, mas tem como eu pegar uma coisinha pra cima ali. Tá, deixa eu ver onde é que eu tô no mapa. Tá, eu posso pular pra cá. Mas a missão é pra cá. Bom, vamos dar uma olhadinha pra ver o que tem aqui. Talvez seja
It's locked.
sem saída. E aqui nós estamos chegando num
Whitechapel.
distrito.
This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Bom, a partir daqui vai ter muita conversa. Esse jogo é um jogo de conversar muito para poder conhecer o pessoal. Esse cara tá morto. E faz parte do jogo porque a gente precisa conhecer o pessoal e conversar com eles para poder conhecer o pessoal. Aqui.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
Eita. O cara matou o outro.
Stinking alley reeking worse than a week old latte. I won't end up another drunk arsehole living sick and suffering.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man?
Hey! I didn't do anything, it ain't me!
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
You're being manipulated by these criminals. What's worse is that you're clever enough to know better.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I've a future here.
Goodbye.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best.
What? You saw what happened?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's just a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about...
Nothing to say, really. This is where...
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see, long before the flu.
Perhaps you could focus...
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up rosy.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and...
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. Tonight.
A gun, alcohol...
Me?
How are...
I'm not your...
Goodbye, young...
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
This is despicable.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
If I could get something working, everything would be better.
Good evening, miss.
Good-
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should avoid? Is there...
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
I'd like to see what kind of
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
I cannot enter.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Tá, aqui foi de onde eu vim, eu posso vir pra cá agora. Ou pra cá. Onde tá pedindo a missão.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Tá. Eu preciso ver o que tem pra cá ainda. Aqui. E aqui pelo meio. Daí toda essa parte aqui. Então, vamos começar por aqui.
I'll kill you!
Mais alguém? Parece que não. Será que tem? Será que ele tem que sair?
Watch out, boys! We have to stop him! Die, vermin! Oh my god!
It's locked, all right.
Fica sem saída também. Não tem nada na parte de cima. Era isso. Agora nós vamos vir por aqui. Uma nova arma, um novo colecionável. Bom, vamos matar esse cara então. Deu o botão errado. Bom, aqui dentro parece que não tem mais nada. Ali em cima eu já olhei tudo, ali não abre. Na verdade, vou pegar alguma coisa. Sem estamina, que droga. Sem estamina e com muita pouca vida. Onde tá vendo assim? Nossa, foi um abraço totalmente. Eu vou descer primeiro aqui então. Sério? Sério, não tem mais nada aqui?
Not exactly a treasure chest.
Pequena caixa.
A battered box, some knickknacks, and a letter.
Bom, colecionável então. Vou meter a missão de alguém. Escondidinho. Tem que matar esse cara de novo.
Turn around, sir. Trust the leader! Filthy piece of shit!
Porra, é essa que o cara tá atirando em mim? Isso aí foi algo meio novo, né?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few...
A scientist? You are much more lost.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you?
All scientists are entangled in a world...
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know?
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more...
All scientists are entangled...
Quite a judgmental opinion.
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about...
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called...
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic.
What do you mean? Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers...
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly...
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean when you...
Also,
quite a
well, you...
Well,
As a
what do you mean?
The beast...
I have heard an...
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
What is a journalist doing in this borough?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public in...
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent...
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the...
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly disease.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you...
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what...
Why are the new...
There's a war. These are...
I heard you're investigating an underground...
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not...
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel.
He never...
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Miss...
Será que tem vampiro atrás da igreja? Bom, pessoal, nós vamos ficar por aqui nesse episódio. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Peço para deixar aquele like, compartilhe e comenta no canal o que vocês estão achando. Se inscreva no canal também, isso ajuda muito. E nós sigamos no próximo episódio. Tchau, tchau.